Upcycling is also a very creative process. It's a lot easier to pick up a magazine or a pattern, a bunch of fabric, and make an item. When you have an already made garment and you want to make something else with it, then you have to really think differently about how you want to go about it, what do you want to do, what is the end result would be like. I find upcycling, first of all, more intentional, and second of all, it unlocks a much bigger creative process for me, at least in my own personal experience. One of the most successful upcycles I've done is the Blue Hoodie. I rescued that one from my daughter's wardrobe. She didn't want to use it anymore, so I have in the past given away so much of her stuff. But this time around, there was absolutely nothing wrong with the hoodie. My partner said, well, I will wear it, but I don't really like the graphics. It's a little bit kiddie-like. So I said to him, would you enjoy it if I make a patchwork with it? And he said, well, let's see what you do. He was intrigued. So using the principles of upcycling, I picked a whole bunch of old shirts and I cut little patches and I made myself with some crazy patchwork. And from there, I chose a soft jersey fabric to put it in the inside of the patchwork and then attach it to the hoodie. My partner really enjoys wearing that one. So it's very successful because he wears it all the time. I don't think you could do a very successful upcycle if you start picking up fabrics that are not adequate for the garment that you're trying to make. For example, if you pick a t-shirt, you wouldn't think of making a jacket out of a t-shirt. You could maybe make a bigger t-shirt, or you could make a t-shirt dress or a tunic, or you could use part of the t-shirt and backing it up and use it as a sweatshirt. You have to kind of match the material to the item. Another important aspect of upcycling is pressing consideration on how you're going to be taking care of the finished garment. So if you were to mix up fibers, let's say you're mixing up cotton with wool, wool famously does not like heat. So if you were to wash in the washing machine and put it at 40 degrees like you would do maybe cotton, it's going to get felted. But what you need to consider is how you're going to be using that item. So once you've done it when perfect, you use it and then you need to wash it. How you take care of it? Do you wash it with the 30 degree? Do you have to wash it 40 degrees cold, hand wash? What I tend to do is taking care of the most delicate aspect of the item. So let's say in one of my upcycles, for instance, I did a sweatshirt and wool upcycle just because I fancy doing that. Very successful. The wool itself, it was a wool mix, so it wasn't 100% wool. So I knew I could put it on the washing machine. But what I did is to put it in a 30 degree, and then I hang in the hanger. So it didn't really get too felt. It didn't get to get itself spoiled. If I was to wash it much hotter, like the sweatshirt might take, then I'm pretty sure I would have spoiled the item. So you need to take care of your upcycled items, taking care of all the fibers and taking care of the most delicate aspect of it. Whenever I get to choose an item to upcycle, I always take in account the material, the garment itself, the fiber. We already spoke about all of this, but also colors. I like to either use the complementary colors or use a color scheme that goes with the garment in the first place. In terms of like this dress, I chose other blue fabrics to use for the dress. For the hoodie, I also chose blue fabrics that will go with it. For the white hoodie, I chose a complementary color. So then at this point, I chose like a gray wool, a mixed product, and it looked really, really good. I particularly like blue, is my favorite color, blue and green all the way. So whenever I pick something, and if it is blue, I'm trying to get as many shades of blue as I can if I'm doing a patchwork. If I'm doing just one item with one other piece of fabric or any other or two items combined together, I make sure that I pick the right colors to match it. I pick the colors from the front picture, And then I try to use complementary colors. All of them go together because in here, for instance, even though it's blue, there's a lot of gold going on with the flowers. So here, also, this kind of browny goldy goes nicely with the frame of the picture. The blues and then the brown, all of it are complementary, even though they are not the same color. They complement each other, and that's what I mean. For the back, I use a cool suiting wool, and inside I put a cool gingham fabric because it's all blue and it's all cool. They are complementary colors, but they work well. That's what I mean by using the colors that will work together. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you. So one of the most important steps of upcycling is the gathering of materials. Whether you are buying fabrics or whether you are buying an item to upcycle or you're keeping it from the wardrobe, if you're going to buy something, my rule number one is to buy good quality materials. And I'm talking about, in my case, I prefer natural fibers. So I like cottons, linens, wools, silks. If you can find it, that will be really cool. Sometimes I buy synthetics, man-made fabrics, because it depends of what the end result would be. I normally don't buy leather, but I upcycle leather jackets that they are on the end. And the stitching that comes from the original item makes the end results far more interesting. Just make sure that when you buy the materials, those are the materials that you want to use, that you want to put in your body, that you want to put on whomever you're making the item for. So I'm always looking for the quality of those materials. So quality of materials, whether they are pieces of fabric, sometimes you could use like a really vintage sheet that has really cool designs, or lots of tablecloths. I have here a combination of beautiful embroidery tablecloths, old vintage linens, and those are really good quality materials. They will make awesome blouses, top, dresses. I have a video where I made a lovely blouse with beautiful blue embroidery over the top sleeves, and it's such a lovely white blouse with a twist because it has like a really interesting sleeves that is actually vintage tablecloth, and the body itself is made out of vintage sheets as well. So all of it is rescued from a thrift store not far away from here. Another aspect is, once you've been using just awesome materials to start with, whether you are cutting off men's shirts, normally they are, for most part, 100% cotton. Whether you're cutting those ones or you buy secondhand material, those materials, once you've cut your items, those materials are very worthy still. So use up your scraps, use up all the bits and pieces that you've been cutting around. Make sure you keep them in some kind of order that you can come back to it and just pick it up and do something with it. On my last video, I made an awesome laptop bag for myself. It's a Harris Tweed sample patches that I had in my stash. I don't even know for how long. I think I bought it in Edinburgh, and I haven't been there for many years. So these are samples that obviously they've been sent to shops or something of the Harris Tweed itself. And the quality is just amazing, but it wasn't enough. So I kept it on my Rembrandts and a little scrap bag. And then I pulled it out and decided to make my laptop bag. My original laptop bag is paper, and it's a very unusual product, and it rains a lot in here, so I didn't think it was going to last me the winter. So I decided to make the new laptop bag, and I put some leather bottoms, and then I put the wool on the upper side of the laptop bag. Very successful. I've been using it a lot. The link to the video is down below in the description. But since then, I've seen some really cool, crazy Victorian patchwork on YouTube. And I'm thinking of having a little go with this new bag. If I do, I'll show you. I'll be sure to make a video and show you. I would say that upcycling, the reason number one for you to want to do upcycle something is that you want to wear the finished product, either yourself or whomever you are doing it for. You want to make something that it has no use, you want to make it useful. And so, with that to start with, start thinking about how can I make this item better? How can I wear it more? So, is it too short? Make it long. Is it too tight? Put some more fabric. Trying to make it wider, looser, a fit a looser, a little more comfortable fit. Find out the problem and trying to fix that problem. So your item will be most likely be loved and used for years to come. I'm for sure going to be using this dress for many years to come. And so my bag and my blouse and my other dresses, and I have a list of upcycles. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to give you a sample of how I go about thinking how to upcycle an item. So this is from Pull and Bear. It's mostly polyester, but it has a really nice cut and a nice sleeves, but it's way too short and really cropped on me. So what I'm going to do is using another of my beautiful wools that I have here. I'm thinking I might go for the brown one. So what I'm thinking is I might unpick the front and back from the armhole and somehow apply the wool around here so I can still use this original plaque because it has the snaps and they work perfectly fine. So I might just go around leaving this plaque and so put some wool panels on the front and on the back and make it longer, but also make it like a cocoon type. All I need to do is from the armhole down, just make it wider and then maybe bring it the size inwards towards your knees. I'll see how it goes. But that's my upcycler process. I want the bones of the jacket with a beautiful fabric, and I want to combine them both and do something good quality. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I've given you some inspiration and the ideas for you to go ahead and look in your wardrobe or your kids' wardrobe or on the thrift store and find some items to upcycle. So until next time, please subscribe and like the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.